All right, Shalom, Israel. First off, we want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai.
Want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and want to just give peace and blessings to the sincere brothers of the hopeful elect that's pushing the word. Just wanted to get into some topics of today. We at the end of October, coming through Hallows Eve until the election next month. So you got a lot of people just in general, making a hoopla of this whole political process, who they feel should be in, who they feel should not be in. You got people, and I'm talking about our people, the nation of Israel, since they don't really like either one of the candidates, but they gonna roll with a Democrat because that's just the history and the legacy, I guess, of Jake. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in this country is to vote Democratic. And they'll vote against their own best interests in voting for Hillary Clinton because based on what they perceive as a stellar track record in the 90s when Bill Clinton was in office. Maybe a time of prosperity from some Jakes. In their mind, they feel there was no war going on during the time of the Clinton administration.
That's right.
Like Jake, we're in a point where everyone on the earth, they seeing the prophecies come to pass, they seeing all hell, they seeing the economic crunch, everybody's feeling the racial tension and stress, so everyone's looking for a solution. But for our people, and really the elect of our people, we're stressing that the only solution is trusting in the Heavenly Father and having faith that His Son is going to make a return and destroy what we know of as today and set up a new order. So we shouldn't be worried about no political process or no damn voting, but just waiting on the Heavenly Father and doing the work, trusting in the Lord. So somebody can go ahead and get Isaiah 30 and 12.
I got it.
You got it?
Isaiah 30 and 12. Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
That's right. And right now that's talking about the fall of Great Babylon. So our people that are basically trusting in oppression, because our people fail to realize just because they may have certain situations going on and they have these what are called civil liberties to do things in this place, you still in subjection, you still in oppression. It's more corporate, spiritual, and industrial slavery or oppression now, but it's still oppression because we're under the people that brought us into captivity, man.
Yes, right.
We're still found in their hands to this day. And then the kingdom that they have set up is a kingdom of perverseness. And our people want to stay there on. They don't want the kingdom of Yahushua. They don't want the kingdom of heaven to come on earth. That's why they talking about voting and like, I don't really like either candidate, but I guess I'm going to go with this here. They still want this drag of a nation to go on, but the Most High has other plans.
That's right.
It's gonna break at an instant, man.
That's right. And ultimately, they want to believe in a fraud, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you look up that word oppression, if you have a 1611 on the side, it actually says that word fraud, man. And that's what our people are believing in, a scam, if you will, man. Both of these entities in which our people are voting in are doing the same thing, which we're gonna get examples of. People want to think that the Democrats are peaceful in a sense. Well, that's not true. That they're for black people. That's not true. For so-called Latinos, that's not true either.
That's
and
right.
We have several examples that we're going to go into, showing that our people, that the Democrats nor the Republicans are for our people, man. Because they're doing the same thing. And ultimately, it goes back to our people believing in that, man. You see, trusting in oppression or fraud.
Matter of fact, can you start at 10 in that same verse?
Kind.
And then I'm going to kind of segue into some of these articles.
Okay, I'm gonna start now for you. It kind of
Kinda.
goes into what you kind of want.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
This is Isaiah 30 and 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh.
That's right, and that's talking about the nation of Israel, man. It says that the nation of Israel they won't hear the law of the Lord, man. They are lying children. Like we went into beautifully at camp last night, Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter, how that idolatry has basically stripped our people from the presence of the Most High. So in the times that we in, under grace that Yahushua is benefiting us, the hopeful elect men, we gonna set the stage where we're gonna trust in the Lord, because we know that's the only solution to all this hell that we in, man. You know? And it says, yeah, they won't hear the law of the Lord. That's basically what has us in this predicament right here. If you go to Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, all these other nations, they don't have a guideline from the Heavenly Father. They don't have a contract, you know, that they sign with the Most High. So they ain't subject to the curses like we are. That's why we're in this predicament too, man. Because we went away from our power source, you know.
Come on, brother.
Go ahead, Art.
Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
So right, that's exactly what they say to the men of the Lord that's out, you know, making their bodies a living sacrifice and prophesying of the hell in the evil times that are to come. Telling you that you shouldn't be voting, man. We're just telling you the truth, but our people, they want to put the reality of the destruction of Babylon on the back burner just to continue on and comforting wickedness and perverseness and want to hear deceit and just more lies, man. And not an ultimate solution, man. That's why our people want to continue in this mode of operandi, man.
It's lies.
And under just complete falsehood, like the brother Ariella goes into a synthetic reality. They just want to continue on in this reality, which ain't really reality. Reality is what's coming before us, and that's what the prophets are teaching, but you don't want to hear it. Go ahead.
Get ye out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
That's right. So within that process of taking on to idolatry, hearing these lies from these politicians, and wanting them to lead over you and basically help you can keep your comfort, your so-called comfortable lifestyle in America, you're going to basically not side with the Most High or his prophets that's telling you what you should be doing. You know? But like the brother was going into, man, like these candidates, man, it's just two different arms on the same beast, man. Whether you talk about Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, they're all for Jake's downfall. None of them are with you. We are, our people, they feel that Trump is gonna put them back in slavery and do all these other things, basically bring back or reinforce white supremacy. So let's go with Hillary. But you gotta know the history of these people, man. And our people, they don't look into anything. You got Google and you got all this information on the internet to where you can learn about these candidates and their track record and their history, and our people fail to use that tool. Like, they'll think for one that Hillary's gonna do things for black people, and for two, it's gonna be a time where we ain't gonna be in war no more. Look what happened during Bill Clinton's administration. We wasn't in war, but they didn't publicize it on TV a lot like they did during the Bush administration and Obama, like the wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, and, all over the Middle East. But during the time of the Clintons, like we finna go into, they was bombing the hell out of Kosovo, man. Just putting complete genocide on those people. Mm-hmm. But that gets swept under the rug because we was at a so-called surplus in the economy. But our people, that's what I'm saying. That's the point that I'm going into. They trust in the falsehood and the lies, man. Like the brothers going into Hillary Clinton's a fraud, man. She's not for your interest. And if anybody want to go into like some of these things, where they be like Haiti, like the brother referenced also, man.
Can I repeat that for you?
Go ahead.
Isaiah 28:15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we in agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
That's right. Our people have made lies refuge, man. How so? By believing, what are we going to here? We're going to voting. Believing in the voting system and their rules and regulations, man. When the rules and the rules and regulations have been nothing but poison to our people, man. Then I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother. Thank you.
You go ahead.
Yeah. So, go ahead and get it, because it's gonna go into woe unto him that was prescribed basically grievous laws, and all these laws have been doing that but killing our people, man. So what's the purpose of voting?
Yep.
You voting for death. You see? Go ahead, Al.
Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
That's right, man. The widows are the prey and rob the fathers. Who is that right now? That's our people, man. Our people are being stripped from the needs, from the things that they need, man. How so? By believing in this system, man. Believing in the Democratic Republic and voting and the rules and regulations of this place, man. Look what happened in the NAFTA agreement, man. That place was totally destroyed by that agreement, man.
Hey, yep, because if I can say this, that's the main way Esau keeps the nation of Israel in oppression to this day, by his contracts, by his agreements, by his laws that he prescribes, which means to right before, which they're all grievous. And like one of the laws that we about to go into, or one of the contractual agreements that we're about to go into concerning the Clintons, is that NAFTA agreement, man, which basically made things grievous for our people, man.
That's
like
right.
the brother's about to point out an example in Mexico.
That's right.
Can I read this
Go ahead, bro.
real quick before you read that article?
Go ahead.
Because this goes right with it. This is Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Mashiach.
Exactly.
So,
right, man.
you know, once again, we still don't get this history, man. I mentioned this yesterday, but I kind of got it mixed up because I've been watching so many articles, videos. It wasn't Ariala's video that was going over the history of our people, man. Y'all got to watch that documentary on Netflix called 13th. It goes over our history from slavery to the Jim Crow era to the Civil Rights era to when they started infesting our neighborhoods with drugs and all the way up to the point where they're killing us today.
Yep.
Nothing has changed. And our people still don't get it. Y'all still putting your faith and trust in these devils, man.
That's right, bro.
Yeah, because
So
like
go ahead.
brothers say sometimes, man, it's gonna take a spiritual solution, man, to get us out of this hellhole that we in, man. And our people, they've been beat down for so long, and they've been fed lies for so long, man. Like we just read, they make lies their refuge. They take a hold to a lie just to keep their situation comfortable for a short time, rather than looking at the big picture, man.
That's right.
This place can't go on forever like this, bro.
No, it can't.
That's the reality of the situation. It's gonna take a spiritual entity to remove us out of this situation,
That's
man.
right, man. The earth is dying, man. You know, this is the place that we live, that we dwell, that mankind dwell, is literally dying before our eyes, man. And it can't possibly go on this way. There has to be an ultimate solution. You know? And the solution is the people that are in power has to be taken out, man.
Exactly.
And that way of life has to be washed away.
Kind of, bro.
Because I've been also hearing like how, like you see a lot of our people still ain't even watch Birth of a Nation. They so worried about the politics behind Nate Parker and his incident that happened back in the 90s that he got acquitted for. Like, are you guys really that damn dumb that you don't want to understand or learn your own history? But do y'all hear about these people like George Lucas and them who've been raping little children and all type of stuff and making your Star Wars movies and your superhero movies all damn day? Y'all not boycotting them and don't want to go see any of their movies, and that stuff is out there. This stuff is not a secret anymore.
That's right. And that's
People
just
like
an
certain
element.
things.
And what the brother's going into, he just gave out that one element to a problem, man. That problem alone should engulf Jake to want to follow some type of find out some type of change, man. Instead of going off and continuing in this deceitful ways, man. They ain't got our people anywhere, bro. You know, ultimately what we're going into, man, is good set against evil, bro. And by voting and following after these people ways, it's gotten our people destroyed every time, bro. But let me get this for you.
Kind of.
Get back. This is an example here of our people being destroyed. This is dealing with Mexico, man, and a NAFTA agreement. Now, this is according to the New York Times. This is the title to the article. Under NAFTA, Mexico suffered and the United States felt its pain. NAFTA is limping towards its 20th anniversary with a beat-up image and a bad track record. Recent polls show that the majority of U.S. People favored leaving or renegotiating the model trade agreement. While most have been said about its impact on U.S. job loss and eroding labor conditions, some of the most severe impacts of NAFTA have been felt south of the border. NAFTA has cut a path of destruction through Mexico. You see? Since the agreement went into force in 1994, the country's annual per capita growth line flatlined to an average of just 1.2%, one of the lowest in the hemisphere. So that's saying that them producing has declined rapidly since that agreement, man. That's what it's going into, and it's going to give you why basically it was destroyed, man. Because which is going to get into it's the article going to get into how the U.S. flooded Mexico with subsidized corn, man. At the time, Mexico was a heavy producer of corn, so that fucked up their economy. Basically, Walmart went. Basically, in a nutshell, what happened to